Finally, a long-awaited ruling from The Hague on the South China Sea disputes. Some commentators were quick to call it a victory for the Philippines and a setback for China. So, Manila won, Beijing nil. Or was it? As many legal experts concede, things are perhaps more complicated than they seem. First of all, this case was not about the sovereignty of those disputed islands. The Philippines never asked the court to rule on that. The Permanent Court of Arbitration also said it does not rule on sovereignty disputes. So what was the ruling about? Well, basically three things. The legitimacy of China's claims to territories inside an area it calls the 9-dash line. Whether the region's maritime features are island, rocks, or just low-tide elevations. And who has commercial rights, such as fishing, in the waters surrounding those islands. It's not surprising that the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea, and this case in particular, don't determine sovereignty, because most treaties don't. According to a US study on international treaties and conventions, only 6% of them settle territorial disputes. Why? Because all states act in their self-interests. They don't want core national security issues decided by other countries. Perhaps that's one reason why the US does not always rush to ratify international treaties. Take a look at this list of nearly 40 the US has not ratified. In a nutshell, territorial disputes are usually not resolved by treaty laws, but customary law, which is established state practices and customs. One form of customary law is bilateral negotiations. For example, China and Russia settled their border dispute in the early 2000s after decades of negotiation. The same with the Philippines and Indonesia in 2014 when they solved their border conflicts. The list goes on. So some legal scholars say the Hague ruling may offer important references to really solve the South China Sea disputes. I'll take political negotiations between China and its Asian neighbors.